Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, talking fishing. If it's facts about fishing that you want to know, then tune in, folks, cause this is the show. We'll show you all the right bait to use, so sit right back, you got nothing to lose. Doesn't really matter if it's trout or carp, flathead, marlin or a gummy shark. Listen to the guys and you can't go wrong. They'll be talking about fishing till the cows come home. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
Welcome everyone to Talking Fishing, another big show coming your way. Only about 4 shows to go now until the end of the season, so lots to get through over the next 4 weeks. But tonight we have got a lot to get through, and I tell you what, some special guests in the studio. A newcomer to Talking Fishing, Katherine Grech. Welcome to the program from Better Boating Victoria.
Thank you, David.
Now, big news about Better Boating Victoria, and we won't talk about that quite yet because I've got to introduce you, but it's good.
It's awesome.
It's going well, isn't it?
Yep, it's great. It's the best thing that happened. Yep,
yeah,
absolutely.
Travis Dowling.
Hi, good to be here.
You're back.
Great to be here. I've gone blue tonight rather than red, you know.
Weren't you here a few weeks ago?
Around. Yeah, I love being in here, and I'm absolutely loving working with Katherine, and it's great to have her as part of the team. We're
going to talk about the Better Boating Victoria and the VFA and how they've come together very, very shortly. But Adam Ring, is this the best lead into Easter that we've ever seen? I can't remember, in my memory, the weather. How good's that?
Well, it was only last week we were doubting whether it was the actual end of the season because of the way the weather was, but it's turned good for Easter.
Yep.
We have got some warm weather, some calm weather. It's going to be chaos this Easter, Dave.
Mm-hmm. Trelly, if it's going to be 31 in Melbourne, you're going to hit 40 in Shepparton or something like that?
No, about the same.
Really?
Yeah, about the same by the chart. But yeah, you're right. Ads and all the weather's going to be fantastic.
That's just perfect.
It's so good.
Yeah,
absolutely
so
good.
As you know, Trav, up our way, that's just under the tree fishing, having a quiet one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Quiet fish.
Have you ever had a quiet? Have you ever had a quiet one?
Yeah, well, all the time.
Slabs. Yes. Katherine and Travis. A year ago, wind the clock back a year ago, I was staring down the barrel of the camera going, boating is no better under Better Boating Victoria. How that has changed. So Better Boating Victoria has now come under the umbrella of VFA.
Yep.
Katherine, how's it going working with Trav?
Oh, it's challenging. Every day is a challenge working with Trav. No, look, it's really good. Like we've got a small team that we're getting extra resources. You know, we're running at things a million miles an hour. You know, we've got amazing leadership from Trav. You know, he's right behind us, and you know, we're pointing in the right direction, and we're just trying to attack everything as much as we can to.
And I guess, you know, from my point of view, Trav, you've got this history of particularly the Target 1 million campaign, where you know, the Biata Netters, the Arcadia. Record stocking, all these, and they're big projects. They're in fact, they're multi-million-dollar projects. You're used to it, delivering, but now we've got, you know, boat ramps, which are difficult. I mean, I can say it, they've been neglected for 40, 50 years, and you guys are now starting to make the change.
Yeah, I have to say I'm slightly intimidated by it because, I mean, Katherine and her team have started, and they, you know, I used to think that we set a pretty high mark at times, and Katherine and her team have just come in and absolutely just smashing it. And I think anyone that's viewing at the moment can just have an incredible amount of confidence in Katherine and the team that she's leading. They are absolute go-getters, and I think Katherine gets about 3 hours sleep a night. Like, it's just out there making things happen. It's not, you know, it's not about meetings. It's not about, you know, just turning up for the sake of turning up. It's actually making a difference. And all credit to the Minister and to her advisor, Sam, I think Sam's watching tonight, and to that whole team that's got behind getting us to where we're at. But I think we're going to see in the next couple of years, in terms of boating infrastructure and fishing access, just incredible things accomplished.
On a lighter side, you two have got something very, very in common that most people wouldn't know.
Blue shirts.
No, we'll reveal it later on. But they're yelling at us. We've got to get to Catch of the Week. So, folks, let's have a look at what's been caught by the people at home. It's time for Catch of the Week.
Catch of the Week, brought to you by Shimano.
Oh, here.
All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Have a look at this. The calamari were on fire. Once that wind settled on Sunday, lots and lots of boats got out down on the peninsula, and Tegan and Tate were on board a boat and got some beautiful calamari off Sorrento. Have a look at that. Yummo.
They're cracking, aren't they? They're big calamari too. Yeah.
That's nice. Good to see the girls out there doing it. Women in wreck fishing.
Huge,
Huge.
sold out
Winning.
at the Go Fishing Nagambie. Like the whole,
Really?
we had a big women in wreck fishing, come together and completely booked out. Over 200 people there, and we were turning people away at the door. So
There you go.
just massive.
Paul Lowe also got out on the calamari off Tookarook. Have a look at that. That's nice size for this time of year.
It's an even better muzzy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not breeding time, is it?
No.
It's not. So those fish are getting bigger and bigger. Imagine that thing come, August, September. That's going to be 2 foot long.
That's going to be a big fish.
Yeah, they're big fish around at the moment. So lots of bait in the water too.
What's Dr. Corey Green say? 1 year life cycle on
They
them?
die after a year,
Yeah,
so you may as well knock them on the head.
Oh, look at them that size and go, how is that 6 months old?
It's
Is
6
that
months old.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
You know?
it's going to double in size.
So at
by
like
August.
9 months, they'll be taking ships down in the channel.
Travis,
Correct, yeah,
a place that you have changed forever. You know it. Devil Bend Reservoir. Have a look at this. Andrew Kettler. Lovely estuary perch.
Can I just say on that, David, that one of the great things, people always get a little bit sceptical when we stock fish that are very small, and they're small, like little gram fish. 2 or 3, 4 years.
How big was that fish when it was stocked?
Oh, it would have been literally like 5 centimetres long, that fish. And people worry that they're all going to get predated, they're all going to get eaten. But what happens is you create these amazing fisheries. Now, we'll keep stocking every year into Devil Bend at that 5 sort of centimetre size. But, every year another year class comes through, and now you go there's 40 centimetre fish, 35 centimetre fish. And that's fantastic.
One of the things about estuary perch ads, you know a lot about them. Big front end, big tail end. Like you look at the tail, the power. You look at the mouth, the power.
Yep. It's
beautiful fish.
They're an incredible fish to catch too, because for all that power and so much in the front end too, the bite you get is tiny. It is literally just a flick in the braid and that's it.
And how many pound, like 4 pound line, 6 pound line you use?
Oh no, you need to bump it up. They're one of the best fighting estuary fish you'll ever catch in your life. And if in structure, if you're not fishing 8 to 12 pound, you're not going to see a good one.
Yeah, right.
It's good.
I can't catch one.
No, you can't catch one?
I can't catch one at Devil Bend.
Charlie May says you can
No,
catch anything on a fly.
I've been with Charlie and we've been fly fishing. We can't get anyway. It's
Really?
enough of that.
Oh, there you go. Trelly.
Yeah.
Go Fishing Nagambie was on the weekend. We're going to talk about all the results later on. Trav, you're going to give us a bit of... But I got this photo sent. Now, this, Cara, who does the cooking?
Yes.
Who we gave her the flick tonight because Catherine's got so much to talk about on boat ramps. But Cara's husband, Dean Cummings, have a look at this.
Got your Dino.
That's
Look at that.
incredible. Look at the size of that.
Great fish.
You'd go, you're on a winner.
Yeah.
10th place.
Yeah, I know.
10th place.
That's how good the comp was.
That cost him $79,500 catching that small fish. Right? He went home. Dean went home $79,500 poorer because of that fish.
Dean is a cracking
crack
bloke
Dino.
too.
Where he bought his gear from.
Yeah.
So it could be the
Well done, Dean.
Got him, Dino.
And Cara's pretty proud of you too, I can tell you. Have a look at this. Now, the Lerderderg River.
Yeah.
That's
Where
not
is
that
it?
far
And
away.
is that a typo? Because it
out
sounds...
towards Sunbury or something like that. Have a look at this.
Gorgeous,
Slevo.
isn't it?
Slevo, I think that's how you say
Slevo,
it. A
good fish.
beautiful brown trout. Now, this is meant to be a tiny, skinny river.
Yeah.
Trav, you'd probably pull that out of the Delatite, something like that.
Yeah.
That's a
But not only did
It's a
Slevo
reference.
get a beautiful brown trout, but have a look at the river blackfish that he got.
Yeah, that's a cracker too.
Isn't that
Yeah,
nice?
beautiful fish. Yep. It's great to see those populations still in there. They've really been knocked about, but we're hoping to recover them. We're hoping to breed them. Moving forward at Snobs Creek.
Yeah.
Did Slevo get the blackfish on a lure? Do you know that? Or was
Don't
he
know.
bait fishing?
Don't know.
I've never heard of them on those.
On the trout?
You'll have something to say about this next one, Travis. John Clements, Redfin Lake Paramount.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's no bag limit on Redfin anymore.
There is no bag limit, there is no size limit, and this is going to upset a few people. They are a guilt-free catch. and we encourage people to catch them and eat them. And every time we post, I reckon we have 90% of people saying that's fantastic, get in there and have a crack, and 10% of people saying, oh, you've taken more than you need. But I need to, I'll need to look down the camera and say, you can't outfish redfin, right? They will continue to breed. They breed 3 to 4 times a year, and the more that you take out of the system, the more they just repopulate, and you get a better size class. So Parramatta has been fishing well for 6 months on them, just cracking reddies.
Yeah, there you go. Let's keep moving along. The variety is unbelievable. Maria Sabo. Have a look at this. King prawns at Lakes Entrance.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, nice ones.
They're huge.
Good prawns.
It's great fun too.
Easter prawn time, isn't it?
Yeah, fantastic.
Nice, well, you, Maria.
And lucky last, the tuna are everywhere out the front. Sharkmen fishing charters, lovely catch of tuna. Like every day they've been out.
That's this is probably the best we've seen the tuna fishing out the front here all season.
And a big shout out to Marco too, doing the job on the Sharkmen. So
good job.
Doing really well. And Luke, I think, is his deckhand, so doing well. If you'd like to send in a pic of your catch of the week, this is what you have to do.
If you want to be like me and have your photo on TV, email your fishing pic to info@ifish.com.au. Go Pies!
Yeah, I wanna go fishing.
Don't want to really talk about AFL.
Give us a footy update, Dave.
I burnt the scarf. Burnt the scarf.
I was going to wear the jersey and I
Saints are no good.
So annoyed.
No, they'll be back.
Duds. Anyway, coming up next, fisheries news, including a total ban on snapper fishing. Sorry, I'll start that again. Coming up next, a total ban on snapper fishing, effective immediately. Next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
We know what you'd rather be doing.
We know what you've really got in mind.
We know you'd rather be out fishing. And today's the day you're gonna wet a line. 'Cause every day's a good day.
Stop wishing.
Every day's a chance to drift away. Drift away.
Every day's a good day for fishing. See it down and tackle world today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
Live from the studios of Channel 31 Melbourne, it's now time for some very fishy news.
Welcome back to Talking Fishing. Katherine Grech is the Director of Better Boating Victoria. Travis Dowling is the CEO of the Victorian Fisheries Authority, both in the house tonight. Talking boat ramps very, very shortly. But a bit of news. Now, some breaking news that has just come through this afternoon. In fact, 4 o'clock I got this from Chris Brain, who is the member for Nepean. Now, he might be just a kid who used to work at the drive-in, but he's a great MP and he's actually looking after his patch. And Chris put out a broadcast today. I am writing to you to inform you that today the Minister for Planning has determined that the proposed Crib Point gas project would have unacceptable effects on the marine environment within an area of high conservation value and should not proceed. The AGL gas plant at Stony Point is not going to go ahead. Now, I can just tell you something, and I know it's easy when you're in opposition, you can just go, we don't want it. You can say that. But when you're in government, you've got to go through the proper planning processes and the proper evaluation of things. And if there's anyone that I know, and I know people behind the scenes, if there's anyone that has advocated on behalf of his community, it's Chris Brain, the member for Nepean, and he has been very vocal. I've met with him several times. The AGL plant is not going ahead.
Great news, Dave. And well done to everyone involved. But was there a sneaky phone call that took place, Dave? Did you go straight to the top?
Might have gone to the Premier. No, but, and in all seriousness, I mean, when the opposition came out and said they don't support it, the council came out and said they don't support it. Why would the government support it unless there was a real, significant thing that everyone else was missing? And the anglers of Western Port are going, we don't want this, it's going to destroy Western Port, and as it's proven it is. But I tell you what, Yeah, Chris was the man in the engine room, and
Yeah, good on you, Chris.
he went to the Premier as well.
Because that's quietly a very big win.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, the real news. No,
That wasn't even the real news.
All right, here we go. The fun stuff. No, that was breaking news. This is the real stuff. The headline is Vic Fish Kids free clinics this school holidays. They are returning. How good is this, Trav?
Fantastic.
The Andrews Labor government is excited to relaunch Vic Fish Kids just in time for the Easter school holidays. 3 free Vic Fish Kids events will be held across the state this school holidays, giving youngsters the knowledge they need to turn their curiosity for fishing into a lifelong passion. These fun and free events will be held at Tooradin, Torquay and Shepparton, Trelly. The Shepparton event will coincide with the Murray Conference, which is also being held that weekend. The events are run in collaboration with local fishing clubs, giving budding juniors a chance to learn from experienced fishers about how to catch a new hobby and reel in their first fish. There will be 21 clinics run over the 3 events, each an hour long, to allow children access to across the state to learn more about fishing. Tooradin's the first event, April 11, so that's not this weekend but next. The Torquay is on Tuesday, April the 13th, which is school holidays. Shepparton, April the 17th, clinics running 10 till 4. Now you have to register on your screen there, vfa.vic.gov.au/Vic Fish Kids. Travis, how good is this?
It's wonderful, and the kids are going to catch a lot of fish at these spots. I mean, Tooradin's fantastic. They'll get yellow-eye mullet. They'll probably get some whiting. They'll get some flatties. They'll get everything there. And getting off Torquay, they'll get into some salmon at Torquay, and then heading up to Vic Park Lake. It's got everything in it. And it's just probably. But it's just great to have kids out fishing again. And last week at Go Fishing Again, which we'll talk about, we had a lot of kids fishing and we loved it. Yeah,
awesome. All right, next one. It is breaking news. The snapper fishing is over. You are not allowed to take snapper, effective immediately, in South Australia. Have a look at this. Oh, I should have added that when I went to the break, shouldn't I? These, if you go to a boat ramp in South Australia on the coast, these are the signs you will now face, saying recreational snapper season is closed. Do not take or target snapper. What they did, they put a very low quota on snapper because they've overfished them.
Yep. For recreationals?
Recreationals and commercials. I think recreationals got 8% of the take though, so bugger all. So but when you caught a snapper, you had to report it via an app.
Okay, that just answered my question.
When the calculation came through to the app, it said all over Red Rover. The quota was meant to last till June. They're in the prime of the season. The very own Ministers Advisory Council said, can you just move a little bit of the winter quota to now, so the kids and families can go out and catch a snapper? And they've got a limit of 2 per person, by the way, that they have to report. They said no, but we'll allow commercial fishing. Oh. Travis, are you allowed to comment on this? Yeah. The recreationals are in a mess.
Yeah, because, I reckon. But no recreational fishing licence. A lot of the money's been poured in the government's commercial money.
So they've got no voice.
Yep. Yeah, and that happened when I was on the AFTA board. We went over there. It's the same thing. The result was exactly the same then.
Yep.
Recreational lost out to the commercial guys.
It's no good. They're devastated over there.
I can imagine.
But imagine seeing that sign when you rock up to your favourite boat ramp.
Well, I just think it's sad for fishing in Australia to see that sort of stuff. And where we're at, and no disrespect to my South Australian colleagues, but snapper is such an iconic species, and they're so important for people to go and catch on. And I'm wishing them the best in terms of rebuilding those stocks. But
it's management, isn't it, Travis?
Is it a war that can be won?
Do you know, just to rub salt into it, right? I'm just reading here. 10% of the quota was allocated to the charter industry. The charter industry said it's not worth us going out, so they haven't fished that 10%. So 10% of the quota is there uncaught, but the recreationals, they face those signs of the boat ramps. Absolutely ridiculous.
Just making clear again, that's South Australia, not Victoria. Just for the viewers at home, South Australia, not Victoria.
Making clear again.
Our snapper are going great, everyone.
The good management of Victoria.
About to boom. Biggest year class ever.
Snapper are going very well.
Through good management.
All right, we've got to keep... we're 3 minutes to the break. We've got to keep... new ramp on the way for North Arm at Gippsland Lakes. Heading out, that's the headline, heading out on the water at Lake Central will soon be easier and safer with works to begin on a project to upgrade boating facilities. The works are funded through the Australian Government's Rec Fishing and Camping Facilities Grants Program and the Victorian Government's $47.2 million investment into recreational boating. Getting through this, a floating... So we might put the photo up. Can we put the photo up? It's probably the next slide.
There's a snap.
Jack will get it up. There you go. So I'll just, as I read through this, a floating pontoon on the west side of the ramp and a fixed jetty on the east side will better accommodate the growing game fishing industry, with the ramp often used to access, leave this photo up here by the way, used to access offshore fishing in Bass Strait. The existing boat ramp and apron will be replaced, and the fishing gantry that you can see on the right-hand side and weigh station will move closer to the water on the fixed jetty. Catherine.
Yeah,
that's a great... I mean, the swordfish...
Huge.
That's the capital now.
Yeah, that's right. And I think this project was developed to support the growing, swordfish industry or the game fish industry.
Yeah.
So they're going to basically demolish those jetties, replace them, put a big floating pontoon to accommodate the larger vessels because they put more pressure on the ramps. Replace the ramp because it's on its way out, and move that big gantry on the end because they can weigh their fish
straight out of the boat.
I think when Trav went down, I think they were talking about hanging fish out of trees and things like that, just to be able to get them out. So it's going to be a great project.
It actually makes it like if you went to New South Wales, South Coast, you went to Queensland where they do weigh fish and have big comps, you'd see that professional setup. We've never really had it. This is the start of it, isn't it?
And
awesome stuff. Project. All right, that's the news. Trav, go fishing the Gambie. Great success.
Oh, it was absolutely huge. And I know Trelly was there. And like for us, it's the biggest fishing comp now in Australia in terms of cash prizes that are being able to be won. And, without giving anything away because it's already happened, but the bloke who won it caught it with a hanging out a barty grub out the side of the boat in the Goulburn River, and just wonderful to see. But I was up there, Trelly was up there, and it is just massive now, like in terms of participation and people there. Was wonderful.
That's right. Yeah, really good. I mean, coming out of COVID was a bit of a touch and go whether what we could, what they could do and things like that. So it's certainly going to grow next year. With that assurance that we're probably going to be...
Well, having all the people camping there right next to where the big marquees, like it just had a whole festival feel about it. There was hundreds of camps, and what I loved is there were blokes who were really keen fishermen, then there was blokes that looked like they were surfers, there were women that looked like they were picking up rod for the first time. And on social media, I saw so many... This was my first ever Murray cod. This was my first ever golden perch. I came up here, I didn't know much about it. But they came for the fishing and they loved the festival, like it was just a wonderful weekend.
Yeah, I believe the guy that caught the cod on cod o'clock and won the Jaco. The Jaco was his first cod he'd ever caught.
Exactly.
That's big time.
Hey, got to keep moving along. Rock fishing safety, Trav, bit topical. Now, there was a report on all the mainstream media on the weekend of a rock fisher washed out. Now, the news today... the headline was "Rescuers Puzzled in Search for the Fishermen Swept Off Rocks at Kilcunda." Police will reassess the search for the missing man as the second day of the hunt draws to an end. Emergency services were called to Kilcunda after reports of a person being swept off the rocks and into the water near the George Bass walking trail about 10:30 on Sunday. 6 witnesses were fairly certain they saw a man on the rocks, but he disappeared after a wave came. There's been no sign of the man, no reported person missing, and no car in the car park. So we're not sure whether it is actually someone. But it's been going on for too long, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, whether or not that man has unfortunately drowned. We have too many incidents of people drowning fishing in Victoria, and we need to do something about that. And so life jackets is something that we have to look at.
There's a sign at Kilcunda. Let's put it up. This is the sign at Kilcunda, and it kind of says you should wear a life jacket. It says don't put your life on the line. Always wear a PFD. Never fish alone. Stay alert. Conditions change. But none of that is mandatory, is it?
That's right.
Moment?
Yeah, no, it's not mandatory, and it's something we need to look at. And no man or woman or child should go fishing in Victoria and not come home from going fishing. So we'll do what we've got to do to make sure that people can
Apparently
stay
his girlfriend's missing too.
All right, we've got to go to a break. We've got to come back and talk about scallop pies at some stage.
Yeah, what are these
really
scallop pies
important? Coming up next, product of the week, and we get into the details of how boating is about to get better with Catherine and Travis next on Talking Fishing.
Talking Fishing. fishing, we're talking fishing.
Okay, getting stuck straight into product of the week. We're going to keep this quick because we've got lots to talk about when it comes to boating, but we've been asking for a long time and finally we've seen it. The Cephia range of gear for the squid fisherman is out and about and it's on the shelves. So that's the little Cephia BB reel. It comes in a 3000 shallow spool and also the same version of the reel but with a double handle, which is squid fishing in a nutshell. Now, for those that haven't...
What's a double handle, mate?
Well, for those that haven't seen a double handle reel, it's very old school.
Right.
It's very old school, but the stability it adds to the reel is ridiculous. So you can hold a spin reel and give it a spin and you can feel the whole body moving as the handle does. You get none of that with a double handle. It completely balances the reel.
So the double handle it comes out the other side with another...
Yeah, that's right. I was hoping to actually bring one. I was hoping to actually bring one, but they actually didn't last that long on the shelves because it's something fairly new and it's a little bit funky. I mean, it looks...
We used to have his there too.
Yeah, that's right.
Stratix.
But it's out and about. So that's the double handle, get amongst it. And that is matched with the Cephia BB rod High Power X, so incorporating all of the latest Japanese technology in their rods. A true multi-taper for the squid enthusiast.
Now, Catherine, is it Cephia or Sophia?
Sophia's my daughter.
Sophia.
Yeah.
There you go. Got a reel named after her.
That's it. So listen, I'm going to keep it short because there's so many questions we've got about boat ramps. But the Cephia stuff is in store now. We've been asking for a long time. It's finally here. I think there's still more to come, but this is what we've got for now. Cephia BB rods and reels.
Mad good. You can even use it on yellow belly.
You can.
Super cool. Yeah, it'd be great for redfin as well.
Yep.
I mean, that'd be perfect for
Nice.
Parambate. Yeah, absolutely.
Can do.
You blokes. Ads?
5-to-1 ratio.
I reckon too.
9 kilos of drag for a
9
squid reel.
kilos of drag.
Are you serious?
So if anyone
I
needs
don't go.
it, if
Travis
anyone
would
needs,
never catch one that big.
I don't
9
go
kilos
11
of drag.
kilos is what I
That's
need.
BS.
yeah.
I've had Travis out on the boat catching calamari. Luckily, it'd be 9 grams. All right, now let's get into the boat ramp stuff. Let's have a look firstly at the election commitments and what has been done so far. So I think we've got a bit of a graphic up. Now, there you go. So you've removed the... Has anyone got good eyes that can read that? You've removed the fees, Catherine.
Yep.
You've established the Better Boating Fund.
Yep.
We've
undertaken a review of boating infrastructure management, Dave.
Yep. What's the next one?
Established 8.
We've established 8 casual berths. That snuck into the... that was an election commitment.
You've already done it?
Yep. We've got berths at St Kilda Marina, berths at Rye, Low Landing. Yep.
There you go.
And a few others as well. Yep.
All right, well, we're going to get into the things you haven't done.
We're doing.
Well, you're doing,
Yeah.
Well, you're doing.
Underway.
Yeah. Green hammer.
That's what hammer's for.
Yeah, green, not a red cross.
Yeah, you notice nothing's red there, okay?
Okay, now we're going to do this in a particular order because it's written in front of me, right? Queenscliff.
Queenscliff.
We've got a photo of Queenscliff. Look at it now. Now, who would believe, if we can go to the next slide, who would believe that is probably responsible for most of the launches targeting southern bluefin tuna around the rip at the moment?
Yep.
Pretty dodgy, isn't it?
It is.
What are you doing there?
So we're about to upgrade the car park and make it sort of better to
Better
travel,
flow.
better flow through there. Essentially, yep. We're going to drop in a third boat ramp lane. So at the moment there's 2 lanes there. We're going to put a third lane in there.
Going to put dividers in so you actually know it's 2 lane?
Put in some dividers. We're going to replace those pontoons and put in longer pontoons.
Yep.
So it makes it quicker for you to sort of launch and retrieve while you go and find your car.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's going to be a great project.
Going to have fish cleaning tables?
Yes.
Wash down?
No wash down.
Yep.
But what am I talking about? There is. There's a wash down bay there. Yeah, so it's already there. So that's being retained.
Yep.
And we're going to have a big fish cleaning table in there as well.
When will that start?
It's going to start mid-year. So
this year?
This year. So we're going to do the land side bit, so the car park.
Yep.
That's going to happen mid-year, and then because we don't want to interfere with boaters during the sort of spring-summer period, so we try and get out of there hopefully by September.
Yep.
And then go back in there early next year and just
do the ramp.
Finish it off. Yeah, just do the ramp.
Way
bit.
to go.
So by this time.
So what? Not going to do a Hastings going to December?
No.
Just
But
checking.
I will say on that, because if the tuna stay around all year, it's going to be year-round fishing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, people have to be aware, we've got to do this upgrade, but it might be year-round fishing out of there.
They all go in April.
Yeah, right, okay, there you go. They're all going to be gone. Okay,
Thanks for the buzzkill there, Dave. Yeah, well played. Fun police
like to talk things up.
Point Richards. Point Richards.
Yeah.
I think we've got a photo of Point Richards. In fact, we've got a couple of photos. So that's the existing. You've got a rock wall there.
Yep.
You've got a long jetty.
Yep.
And you've got a ramp that every third day gets covered in seaweed?
It gets covered in seaweed, yeah. A lot of the time, they lose days and days a year from seaweed build up on that ramp. They've got to close it, get in there with the excavator and move it out. So so what we're looking at doing is building a new rock wall, like to almost semi-enclose that area.
We've got a photo of the concept.
Of the concept.
There you go. So you're going to put a big rock wall there.
That's it.
That'd be great fishing. That'd be good land bait.
100%
Are you allowed to?
No, I don't want to talk about it.
We'll wait and see.
To stop the seagrass from closing off that ramp. So
now you've had to do a heap of modelling to work that out.
We're doing it at the moment. To understand.
Isn't your real qualifications like? I don't want to disrespect your qualifications. You're like a seaweed scientist or something.
I'm not a seaweed scientist.
What are you?
I have a marine science background.
Same thing.
But we paid proper scientists to do this. To do this modelling for us.
So you're going to stop the seaweed getting on the ramp.
It's going to minimise it.
People have been loving that seaweed for like 80 years.
I'm sure there's others that they can find.
Yeah, Queen's Cliff, we saw it just before.
Yeah, that's right.
Rill. Let's have a look at Rill, because Rill looks like it's in good nick. I don't know why you do anything to this.
I know, it's perfect. Great ramp there. So, as we know, Western Port, 3 metre tides impacts the ability to use that facility to launch and retrieve. So we're looking at replacing those lovely ramps, making them longer. So that an all-tide facility, we're putting in a second pontoon and a second jetty, replacing this current jetty, longer pontoons. So again, just improving the flow through there. So. More room to launch and tie up.
You're going to put one of those little lanes in? The little lane? No, the little lane, like the push bike lane you see everywhere, bugs everywhere in Melbourne. My friend's a kayaker, right?
Yeah.
The lane for kayakers.
No, not a chance.
You bet.
Kayak lane in a boat ramp.
Don't need it. You know why?
They're going to be everywhere, aren't they, Travis?
If you think I'm going to paddle in somewhere with 3 metre tides, you've got another thing coming.
Very quickly, Morty Alec, what are you doing there?
Morty, we're just putting in an accessible pontoon, and also replacing the current boat ramp pontoons there, and going to be doing some car park work there.
Yep. So, Hastings. Now everyone saw the great new boat ramp that didn't make a lot of difference.
You should have said something about it.
And it was a great, well timed too. It was before your time,
before
right?
My time.
So we're not going to ridicule you for that. But you've got a little bit of work still to do at Hastings.
We got some more work to do to finish it off. So we're going to be dropping in a second pontoon with Mornington Peninsula Shire. But second pontoon's going to be going in probably around July, August.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cape Conran.
Yeah.
What are you doing there?
Great project there. So, that ramp is really impacted by sand movement. It's practically flat, So we're looking at doing some work to change the grade of the ramp so it's not impacted by sand as much. We're looking to extend the jetty so that, there's more room because, for boaters to come in and tie up to and retrieve.
Yeah.
So...
Good kingfishing off there too.
Are you guys starting to get the vibe that Katherine actually knows what she's talking about?
Can I just say she's not reading off any notes?
I said where's your notes?
For viewers at home, that's encyclopedia, memory here. Like all of that is not off notes at all.
I reckon boat ramps are in good hands, I tell you what. And I cannot believe, why would you want to upgrade this Cows ramp? Let's have a look at this. Why would you want to upgrade that?
Shocking, isn't it? So, again, grade's wrong. You can't. It's impacted by the 3 metre tides. You can't
get to the... That sand wouldn't get on the ramp at all, would it?
Yeah, that's right. So they're out there clearing that sand all the time. So we're doing some work there, concept designs as well to improve it.
All right, getting yelled at. Still got no time to talk about scallop pies, Travis.
Oh, it's coming.
We will get to scallop pies, but we've got to go to a break. Coming up next, KRAMERS mailbag, and we're going to ask how Katherine plans to fix the lack of dredging of boat ramps. Next on Talking Fishing.
Talking Fishing.
G'day, Callan here from Paul Worsland's Tackle World KRAMERS. Supercharged batteries have been supplying maintenance-free marine batteries since 2001. The Seamaster Gold range is second to none, delivering superior starting power and reserve capacity. No need to top up with water, truly a fit and forget battery. With up to 2 years replacement warranty, you know you have quality. Your battery's your lifeline. Without it, you're dead in the water because it's bloody hard to push start.
I've got a Seamaster battery in my boat.
Make yours a Seamaster Gold today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And welcome back to Talking Fishing. In the house tonight is Katherine Grech, who is the Director of Better Boating Victoria, and Travis Dowling, the CEO of the Victorian Fisheries Authority. They've come together. They're getting stuff done on boating, I can tell you. But mailbag, I tell you what, Travis, this is one of your favourite mailbags.
Oh, awesome.
People write in, they know that you're on, all right?
Oh, so, just wonderful.
Now look down this barrel here. Hi, Kramer, it says. I thought this would be a good topic for your mailbag on Tuesday night. You bet it is. From Michael. I was approached by a woman while fishing with my 9-year-old and my 5-year-old sons at Cherry Lake in Altona. She made a huge scene about fishing illegally in the lake and threatened to call the police and the council ranger. This distressed my children, so we left as to not make a further scene. Lucky it wasn't Trelly. She then had the nerve to follow us to the car and take a photo. Along the way, she pointed to a sign advising that fishing was in fact a prohibited activity. I don't believe any management authority will pursue her complaint. I checked the VFA app that states the area is legally fishable. Cherry Lake is also described as an angling water on their website too. Hobsons Bay City Council also promotes the area as a fishing location. Also, last week's Catch of the Week encouraged me to fish locations like this with my boys. Now let's have a look at the photo of the. This is a sign that's been put up at Cherry Lake, and if you can see there the little things that say what you can't do. So I think they're trying to protect. Is that a cormorant on the left, Trelly? And you'd know the bird on the right.
Shags up our way.
Shags,
cormorant down here.
And whatever that bird is on the right, can't quite see it from here. But those little logos are saying that they ban fishing. Fishing's banned by Melbourne Water.
Yeah.
All right. Travis, can't comment yet, right? So I send this on to your staff to say, well, you know, what's the go here? And good old Taylor writes back, he says, see below. He said, the course anglers, which is a group, an angling club, they've been fishing Cherry Lake for years. There's no issues. We're going to get.
They generally fish for carp.
Yeah, they do.
Fishing carp.
We'll get our fisheries officers to check out the signage and get back to you. But the course anglers, they're running their annual event on Saturday, the 3rd of April. That's this weekend.
Yeah.
Good on them.
So I'll make
but Melbourne Water's. Hang on. So where do we go with this? Where do we go, Charlie? What would you do? Melbourne Water have banned fishing by putting a sign up.
Yeah, I'd go down there and just do it. Put a sticker over that.
Are you allowed to answer this, Travis? We don't ask you, controversial questions.
No, all I would say is it is well known that conservation, biodiversity outcomes and fishing are very compatible. So you can have the two together.
Yeah.
You know, it's not one to the exclusion of the other. And we see that with lakes and waterways all around Victoria.
Yep.
Devil Bend was one in question where people were saying we didn't want fishing there because we want to look after
sea eagle. There's two sea eagles. Do you know what? They're still there.
Yep, exactly.
They're still there. But they were meant to go when fishing started there.
Yeah, so hopefully common sense will prevail in this one.
All right, in other words, you can go fishing there. All right, next one. Oh, this is right up your alley too, Trev. This was just a comment by Alex. He said, and we had Susanna Sheed on last week talking about the.
She was great.
Camping on public land, where it's licensed to farmers. Yeah. This is Alex's suggestion to keep users honest and leave camp areas clean as they found them. I suggest farmers and other users take photos of all vehicle registration plates using camping spots. In addition, take photos of their campsites. Maybe that way there might be evidence of rubbish left behind and in case of any fire damage from Alex. Well, good suggestion, Alex. I've seen videos of your campsites, Charlie.
Well, they are pristine. Well, when I leave...
Well, you can usually tell by the video that you don't sunbake nude. Anyway, all right, if you'd like to write into Kramer's Mailbag, this is what you do.
Send your mail to Kramer's Mailbag, PO Box 734, Patterson Lakes, Victoria 3197, or email kramer@ifish.com.au.
Now, Katherine, two things I'm going to ask you about. The boating strategy, I want to know about that, but then I also want to know about dredging. Let's start on the boating strategy.
Yep.
What is it?
So basically, it's mapping out our priorities for the state to make boating better for the next 9-10 years, so out to 2030. So we're basically identifying sort of the infrastructure upgrades, where we need new facilities, where we need, jetties or pontoons for, destination sort of, so all boating. And then, bringing that all together, lifting it up in a strategy that we're going to talk to people about. We're going to put it out there for consultation. We've already put out some surveys, getting that feedback, feeding that into some more consultation that we're going to be running in a couple of weeks. Trav and myself are going to be doing the rounds, talking to the punters to let us know what you think. Have we got these priorities right?
Yep.
And at least that'll give us like a way forward, so that when the Better Boating Fund kicks in on the 1st of July this year, there's about $30 million going into that fund, and we can go, right, these are the priorities for the next year. This is what we're going to look at doing to make boating better across Victoria. And then, we'll just roll out consecutive action plans that everyone can see out for the next,
And so it's not just about Port Phillip and Western Port, is it? I mean, you and Charlie were talking earlier on about a boat ramp potential at Shepparton.
That's right.
Warringah Basin we were talking about today.
Talk about Warringah as well,
And there's a lot of boat ramps in Victoria. You can't do them all, but if you've got a good strategy, you'll get your priorities right, won't you?
That's right, and we've got to make sure that you're right, that we get that mix. That's not all about Port Phillip and Western Port, although that's where majority of boaters reside, but it's not all about Port Phillip and Western Port. We've got boaters across Victoria, Gippsland right up through to the Wimmera and the Mallee, and we've got storages there that need attention. So it's just a matter of how do we get that balance right, and making sure that we've got a program and a pipeline going forward to upgrade and look after our facilities and maintain them. That's really important.
That we've got some seaweed into the Goulburn River.
So walking chewing gum, the building the ones now, but also having the ones ready to go once these ones are built and that sort of stuff. So we'll just keep rolling out.
I wrote an article about 2 weeks ago, made the front page of the Southern Peninsula News, and it said that there is something wrong with every boat ramp from Dramana to Sorrento. Yeah. Most of it has got to do with dredging.
That's...
What do you do about dredging? Because it's just, I say if there's the biggest basket case, apart from, people say it gets full on it these days and it gets fulls on those days and that. Dredging is a basket case.
Dredging's really, it's a tough thing, and it's expensive. It's super expensive, because you've got to pay, a lot of money to get the floating plant in to do it, and then, go away again. And each individual sort of asset managers, they use different dredging companies. So I suppose what we've actually commissioned this work now. We're actually starting to do some background, work to look at where do we need to dredge particularly across Port Phillip and Western Port. How can we better coordinate that? And is there value in terms of doing some proactive dredging, so that as soon as the season kicks off in September, you've got your access channels, they've all been dredged, it's ready to go. So we're going to start to look at that. It's not going to happen quickly, but at least we're starting to do that. So I reckon a couple of years we'll be right. Yep.
Big thing.
It's a big thing.
If we get all of our ramps operating at their full effectiveness and efficiency,
actually be all right, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. People, we won't have the backups at Mordialloc and Patterson River and those sorts of things, because people will go, well, I know, Tookorook's going to be working, I know Safety Beach is going to be working.
Tookorook's only good for 6 months of the year because they've got this mentality of only dredging once a year. Yeah, and it should be done twice. Tyrone is inoperable most of the time.
But people stop using Tookorook when the tuna leave in April, so that's
So you got plenty of time to dredge it without us doing it.
They went in April. I'm predicting. Look, I'll give you guys a bet, right?
Yeah.
If the tuna don't go in April,
where are you running?
I'll grow a mullet. If they are around after April off Port Phillip, I want you guys, Adam, want you to, because you're Collingwood supporters,
Well,
right?
I'll grow a fridge. If that,
No, I want you to grow a mullet. I want you to grow a mullet, all right? We're getting.
Totally got it.
Oh, here we go. Coming up next, hotspots, and we talk a little bit more with Katherine about the Maribyrnong boat ramp. Coming up next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
The Beaumaris Motor Yacht Squadron is a trailer boat and social club on Port Phillip Bay. The club has a great range of facilities, including multiple boat ramps, ample car and trailer parking, boat wash and fish cleaning, fishing competitions and boat safety lectures, boating activities and club events, a restaurant and 2 bars. Easy launch and retrieval makes for a relaxing time on the water for you, your family and friends to enjoy. And boating memberships are now available. The Beaumaris Motor Yacht Squadron, the best trailer boat experience on the bay.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And now the segment you've all been waiting for, Fishing Hotspots, brought to you by the Beaumaris Motor Yacht Squadron, Melbourne's premier trailer boat club.
Going to fly through the hotspots now. Have a look at this first one. There are so many people going to be fishing at Easter because of the good weather.
Huge.
Trelly, over your side of the bay, your Geelong side, St Leonard's, you'll be able to walk on the boats, they'll be that thick for King George Whiting over at St Leonard's.
Yeah, it's been going really well over there. Yeah, they've been catching a stack. All around that area has been doing really, really good.
If you can't catch them there, just go a couple of kilometres to the east. The northern end of Mud Island is on fire for King George Whiting. Right. Travis said that thick you could even catch them.
Yeah.
with a spinnerbait. Yeah. Let's head over to Western Port. We are told by our good friend Jerry. He'll hate me saying that. Yeah. Tortoise Head Bank, King George Whiting everywhere. Everywhere. Good ones, good size too. If you want to catch a big one, I know they didn't catch any at the Western Port Angling Club Whiting Challenge, but if you can, you'll get down to Cat Bay this weekend, no doubt about it. Good weather.
Yeah.
Cat Bay, deep water, big King George Whiting. All right. The next one might be a bit controversial to fisheries because they reckon they'll be there all year round. I say they're going to be into April. They're gone. Offshore from the rim, southern bluefin tuna. Head down a little bit towards Barwon Heads or a little bit beyond. I'm told they're everywhere. Michael Buxton, chair of Future Fish, was out this morning. Got them. Good. So there you go. And lucky last, Trav, I don't know if you've ever fished this area, but I think you grew up somewhere near this. Murchison Murray cod.
Oh, is that right?
Any good? Charlie?
Who put that reporting?
Yeah, no, it's wonderful.
You reckon they'll do any good this weekend?
Really well, apparently the bloke who came 9th the other day, or 10th, from Cod and Yella, there was another 9 above him at 80 centimetres that were caught just in that area. So it will go gangbusters, and there'll be Yellas there as well, not just Cod.
And
you get Yellows as well.
Yeah, you'll get Yellas.
And no full moon, which is going to be interesting. We normally have a full moon over Easter, so the fishing should be phenomenal.
Someone stuffed up Easter. It's a week late.
Wow. How did we bugger that up?
June long weekend is in the second weekend of June instead of the 1st.
It's
meaning I've got to work on my birthday.
Yeah,
what the?
Jeez.
Anyway.
I bet you take the day off.
Stop takes now. I can't. Can we just quickly scallop pies, Travis?
Yeah.
Now, if people want to hear the story, it's up on our social media. Get onto the Facebook page for Talking Fishing. We did an interview with Dallas De Silva last Friday on Talking Fishing on 3MP.
Of the Williamstown De Silvas.
Yes. And we got talking about this extra 900 tonnes of scallops that's been found out offshore.
A lot of scallops.
Yeah. And then we got talking about, well, when I was in Tassie at Christmas, they sell scallop pies everywhere, don't they?
Right, yeah.
Why don't we bring the scallop pie to Victoria?
Well, it could be an exclusive, but we are currently working with a number of distributors. I'm not going to say 4 and 20 or Paddy's Pies. I'm not going to go into brands. I'm not going to say 7-Eleven. But we
this is big, isn't it?
It's huge, right? So we are looking, Dallas and Toby from the team have done incredible work on this. We're looking at rolling out scallop pies so that literally, I mean, it is something from a fisheries perspective we haven't got into before, but working with some partner agencies and making sure that every Victorian is able to access a scallop pie at some point because the fishery is going so well.
What we might do, we'll do this on social media, people at home, we'll do this on social media, is we might start a thing where over Easter, tag your bakery that doesn't sell scallop pies.
Well, yeah.
Let's start shaming them for not having scallop pies.
And I think we also need to be very clear about what makes up a scallop pie.
Yes.
Right. So there has been some talk that scallop pie can be a curry pie.
No.
We've talked about that previously.
We have talked about this.
It's like tomato sauce on broccoli, right? I mean, it has to be a Mornay. It's got to be a white sauce scallop pie Mornay.
Charlie?
Oh yeah, I'm with you. Could it be a scallop and prawn pie?
No.
No.
It can't be.
No, it's going to be scallop pie.
I'm going to go now. It's unbelievable.
Would you eat a scallop pie?
I would eat a scallop pie. I think this is the greatest thing ever that we've made.
Would you eat it if it was curry or Mornay, or you wouldn't care?
Only.
Yeah. Mornay
I'm
only.
not a weirdo.
Well, Dallas.
Yeah.
Dallas reckons curry, doesn't he?
Well,
he's a winner.
Well, he's from Williamstown, for starters.
Oh,
So, Katherine, have you ever had a scallop pie?
I have.
Where?
From the Lakes Entrance Bakery.
Lakes, they already have
They're
them.
ahead of the curve.
Yeah,
Ahead of the curve.
they've got scallop pies at the Lakes
Trendsetters.
Entrance
Yeah.
Bakery. They've had them for years.
Bet you they're not curry based.
No, not
They
curry
Mornay.
based.
Mornay.
Yeah.
Mornay.
They also have them at Apollo Bay, apparently.
Absolutely.
They're the only two bakeries in Victoria.
Apollo Bay, fantastic. You're going to be contacted by about another 20 bakeries that are going to all say that we've got scallop pies. That's wonderful. Scallop pie recipes. I'm pretty sure they're going to overtake meat pies moving forward. At the footy, it's going to be scallop pies.
Do you reckon Cara could bang out a scallop pie recipe?
Well, we had to give her the flick tonight. I feel so bad for Cara, but why don't we challenge Cara to do a scallop pie next Tuesday night?
There you go, Cara. Scallop pie and carp. You've got to knock them over. We've got 4 shows left for the season.
All right, very quickly, because we're getting yelled at. The Maribyrnong River boat ramp. There's a proposal. I think we've got the little graphic up here, the concept diagram. Katherine, tell us about that.
Yep, concept. So in 2 weeks' time, we're going to be down at Newsom Street in Ascot Vale to run through this concept with anyone who wants to drop in. We'll have some more info on our social media. But essentially, it's just building a brand new boat ramp there, a single lane with 22 car parks there.
Wow.
It's a great stretch of river, nice and flat.
Is that just parkland at the moment or something?
It's basically the back of a reserve at the moment.
Yeah.
So
perfect location for a boat ramp.
It's already got a footprint on it.
It's awesome. It's the best spot on the Maribyrnong.
There you go.
So.
Can I thank you both for coming in? Thanks, Katherine. First show, Travis, 23rd.
Yeah, lovely to be here. As always, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time. Long drive in, but thank you very much. That's it for Talking Fishing. Hope you enjoyed the show. Next week, Dallas De Silva to fill us in more on scallop pies from the Victorian Fisheries Authority. He joins us. Some really interesting topics as well. Also, don't forget, daylight savings finishes this weekend. The warm weather probably finishes this weekend. Most importantly, we hope everyone enjoys what's looking like a very, very good Easter for fishing. Till we see you again next Tuesday on Talking Fishing, please stay safe on the water and enjoy your fishing.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. We got all you need, just take a look. Watch those fish jump on your hook. So just relax and take your time. Enjoy the show, then drop us a line. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. Talking fishing.
Have a good weekend, Mr. Walker.
You too, son.